Welcome to episode number 8 of the Body to Lead podcast. Today's question, I have a sweet tooth. So what are some healthy dessert ideas? I'm Kyle Hubbard, personal trainer, nutrition coach, and international fitness presenter.
And I'm Georgie Hubbard, personal trainer and mindset coach. And we're here to answer all of your biggest fitness and nutrition questions in under 10 minutes.
We care about your health and well-being and are prepared to cut through the noise to help you find the answers. Having worked with thousands of clients, we've seen and heard it all.
So if you're ready to take back control and know what it takes to get fit and healthy, then this is the podcast for you. Episode number 8 has arrived, and today we're answering a really good question, I think, because
close to home.
Kyle got this and he was like, yes, I can answer this. So what are some healthy dessert ideas? Now, I guess when I think the word dessert, the first word that doesn't come to me is health. Right? I think dessert and I think, chocolate brownie, rhubarb crumble,
apple crumble,
trifle, cheesecake, all those good things. And look, they absolutely have their place in anyone's diet, there's nothing wrong with treating yourself now and again to these types of foods. I think it's just being more mindful and aware of, is it just a habit that you've got yourself into that you have to have a cup of tea and a biscuit, or, you go out for coffee and you have to order a muffin, so it's being aware of the habits that are linked to when you actually crave the dessert. Now, I have a sweet tooth, and after dinner,
I don't believe it.
I do. Look at my breakfast. It's packed full of fruit and yogurt and, but I guess I've trained, my palate is definitely very different to where it was, I guess, even 5 years ago. But I still get the craving for something sweet. So when that happens, the first thing I reach for is a piece of dark chocolate because one, I can't eat tons of it because it's so rich and it just takes the edge off it. And not only that, dark chocolate has been proven to have a lot of really good health benefits for our brain and just for the way we feel. Like it boosts the mood. And
can I ask why is it that you don't want to eat the whole bar? If you have how can you control yourself eating one square? You said it's rich and you don't want to, but how do you actually stop yourself?
Good question. Okay, there's a question within a question. I guess for me, it's having a why. I now really want to honor my body. I don't want to put crap into it, basically. I don't want to put tons of refined sugars because I know it doesn't make me feel good. So I guess I just now choose foods that I know are really beneficial for my health. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't treat myself, now and again to things that, would be quote unquote unhealthy. But I'm just very mindful of when I have these treats and these desserts, just to really enjoy them, not feel guilty. There was years ago I would have a dessert and then I feel really guilty about having the dessert. But now if I want a dessert when I'm going out for dinner or I'm with friends, I will have some dessert, I will have some cake, but it is not an everyday occurrence. So we want to come up with a few more ideas that you could have, perhaps, a few sweet treats every day. So dark chocolate is definitely one. Yep. Fruit, obviously loads of berries. You could add that with some yogurt, some cinnamon. I really like to mix my yogurt sometimes with some protein powder. Instantly that just gives it this richness. And, I love chocolate and strawberry flavors just because it just makes the yogurt taste, some yogurts can be a bit bitter. So that just sort of sweetens it up. Or you could even have a sprinkle of some honey, maybe a bit of stevia on top. But there's loads of things that you can do if you do have a sweet tooth and not add tons of calories into your day.
Yeah, nailed it really. I think there's going back to that was kind of, I guess a bit of your story and my story was, as Georgie knows and some of you do know, I wouldn't be able to stop at just one. That's why I asked that question. I've obviously got you now as well to hold me accountable, which is beautiful. Because I do have a sweet tooth. I absolutely have a sweet tooth. And I used to love cheesecake. Was absolutely my favorite dessert. But I wouldn't be able to just stop at one slice. And there has been times where I did actually eat the entire cheesecake from every, almost what felt like every day. I would go to Tesco's back in the UK. If you know Tesco's, it's pretty much like Woolworths or Coles in Australia, and I would go and buy their cheap priced cheesecake, so it's full of crap anyway, and I would honestly devour the whole cheesecake.
So I'm going to ask you a question now.
Go for it.
Because so from someone who's come from I guess I've never had that addictive personality when it comes to food. So why did you want to devour the whole cheesecake?
I just think food for me was a comfort thing, and food does make me happy. Like when I eat food, I think it makes a lot of people happy. You know, I eat something and I'm like, I instantly feel happy. And then so I want to eat another piece of, slice, because again, I'm going to feel happy. I'm not necessarily thinking long term, and I didn't have a why. I didn't have a bigger purpose. It was just there because it made me happy. So really going then onto the mindset piece, which I know you can talk strongly about, it's going, what are maybe some of the underlying issues as to why you're having to reach for that food? Because I guess it is unfortunate, but a lot of the best tasting foods for us are the ones that are higher in calories, they're more calorie dense, and they will make us put weight on if we're not careful, if we do overeat. So
yeah, but that's because they've been manufactured by these food companies who pump in millions and millions of dollars to run studies to go, okay, what is the exact amount of sugar? What is the exact amount of fat to make this, the crunch, the texture, everything, to make this taste incredible? And that's why it does. There's a reason why Pringles, when you pop, you just can't stop, because they've pumped in so much time and money and energy and the best minds to go, okay, how can we make this food super addictive? And then when you go to the supermarket, all of like the psychology there, like you get to the end of the aisle and you're about to pay, and then you have to walk past all of those chocolate bars, and they're always on offer, and it's like, it really is set up for us to fail. So but this is why becoming more mindful, becoming more conscious of our decisions, of when we reach for the chocolate bar, when we reach for those sugary treats, it's like, okay, what is going on in my mind right now? It's just becoming more aware. And I think if you can do that, you will be able to go, do I really want that dessert? Do I really need it? And you'll regain the power, so next time that you're in the supermarket, you'll notice that they put all the sort of the healthy food on the outside, and then in the middle, you've got like the crisps, the chocolate section. That is deliberate, because the psychology is you've entered through the fruit, and you pack your trolley full of fruit and some goodness and some vegetables, and then you go, oh, look at me, I've done really well, look at all my healthy trolley. And then you go, oh, I'll treat myself now, I'll go down the chocolate aisle and I'll buy some chocolate and some crisps. So it unfortunately, it is set up that way, because food companies are extremely, extremely smart, and they want you to buy their products. They want you to consume their food.
They pay a lot of money to have that shelf space.
Correct.
In supermarkets.
So in terms of some other healthy options, we've got dark chocolate, because you'd be really struggling, especially if you get like 90%, to eat the whole bar. You'd feel pretty sick if you did that. I don't think even Carl Hubbard could do that. Yogurt, some stevia and some berries. Try buying yourself some protein powder, because it has got that sweet taste to it as well. And also you're adding more protein to your diet, which is really good.
Summertime, like freezing fruit.
Yeah.
And then putting it into like making lollies, like ice pops from frozen fruit. Again, really great idea. Yeah. I think what we should do is, we'll drop a 5 or 6, maybe up to 10, maybe more, who knows, link in the podcast show notes, a link to a download where we'll give like a lot of different recipes.
Maybe even some brands as well, brands that we quite like and we buy, like for example Halo ice cream, like I think it's under 280 calories for the whole pot. Pana chocolate, Table Plenty is a really good one. Skinny Cow, like these types of brands, they are lower in calories, so if you are worried about overeating, these would be sort of like some ideas that you could go to. Low fat jelly. I think just diving in there, it's just being super careful. Then you're not
over consuming.
Yeah,
so if you find
absolutely.
You know, like me.
Yeah, but having a
Georgie next to you,
having a skinny cow ice cream versus a whole cheesecake
100%.
is better.
100%.
So it's like, where are you coming from? You know. But look, I hope that helps, and we'll put together a couple of recipes and a couple of products that would be good for you to buy. Maybe you can recommend some protein powders as well, because I think there's so many on the market. But yeah, we'll absolutely do that. We hope that this was super helpful today, and keep your questions coming because we love answering them.
See you on the next episode.
See you soon.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you have any burning questions that you want answered, be sure to reach out to us on social media. I'm Kyle Edward Hubbard on Facebook and Instagram.
And I'm Georgie L. Hubbard on Facebook and Instagram. If you've enjoyed today's episode, we would love it if you left us a review. And we look forward to speaking with you again soon.
Have an amazing day.